beautiful people. It's your girl, Efia Tekyi-Annan, also known as MC Fifi Ohima. And I am coming to you from Toronto, Canada. And if you're new here, Akwaba, I am relatively new. This is my second episode. And I am so happy to be here with the ADNC family. And so for those of you who've been here for a while, thank you for welcoming me to the community. It's been great so far, and I can't really wait until I can really get to meet y'all and really get into the nitty gritty of diaspora news from my perspective. So make sure if you are not already subscribed to my channel, you subscribe to the channel right here, as well as follow me on Instagram right here. A little bit about me is that I do so many different things that there's so many different ways that we can interact, whether you like to travel in the diaspora, whether you'd like to go to the continent, whether you like to do funny reels with your kids or, talk about entrepreneurship and business. I do all of those things. So let's chat. I really want to have conversations with you guys and get to know you as much as I want you guys to get to know me. So on today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about Broken, the House That Weeps. I attended this past weekend a movie premiere in Toronto. Now, this film stars some of Ghana's well-known actors and actresses such as Asante Barima, Kwame G, Mama G, and up-and-coming actresses and actors such as Nina Ritchie. Who is an actual singer, who's dabbling in her acting bag right now. And so I got to host the red carpet and ask some questions of the people who were there. We all got to watch the film for the first time. Some of the actors and actresses hadn't even seen the completed film yet. So it was really cool to kind of, experience that with them. This film is more than just a family drama. Like, this is a spoiler. It's a bit of a spoiler. So if you haven't watched the film, pause here and go watch it, and then come back and let's have some conversation, some dialogue in the comments.
Get out!
When loyalty is tested, when love becomes a weapon.
It's not the same. I wish you'd tell me how. You are broke.
Let me put it like that.
No. Like, seriously? Consent to my name. Ma!
Coward!
You see what you have done? Why do you want to mess up my home? Why do you want to mess up my home?
It opens up real conversations about love, marriage, family, expectations, culture, silence, and what happens when diasporan women enter a Ghanaian family structure. So this is something that can relate to all of us here. For those of us who are first generation Canadian or American or British, and we have our Ghanaian families, or second generation, and we weren't born in Ghana, we weren't born in Africa, we weren't born in South Africa. There's just certain things that there's a difference, right? The way we were brought up versus the way people born on the continent were brought up, And that shows when someone from the continent marries somebody who's from the diaspora, right? You get to see these culture clash, and how do the families kind of navigate through that, right? And this film really explores that. So, Yeah, let's really get into it. I want to show you guys my dress as well. So take a look here. This is what I look like, and it was a great experience because I really got to get an understanding of what it took for the actors to really get into the role. Right? They're talking about real issues that happen within Ghana, and to be honest with you, the more and more I think about it, I think I knew some of these things, but I definitely was not that in tune with it. So there was a lot to learn, and I'm hoping to help you guys learn a piece too. The film follows Aquia, a diasporan woman who's played by Nina Ritchie, who marries Kwame, played by producer Kwame G. The cast also includes Ghana's well-known actor Santi Barima, alongside Diana Sledge, who plays Akuya's mother, and Sister G, who plays Kwame's mother. Now, you can already think, before I saw the film, I already knew mother-in-law drama. Mother-in-law drama. We just know the husband side of the family. Oh my God. Mind you, I have a son, so I'm gonna be the husband side of the family one day. But I'll be good, I swear. you know? So there was a lot of that. And so we look at Kwame and Akuya's marriage, and on the surface, it looks like a love story. A diaspora woman connecting with the story wasn't just about a husband and wife. It's a story about two families, two worlds, and all the expectations that come with them. And so where it relates to us really is, it hits differently. Many of us understand the desire to want to go back home through our culture and kind of reconnect through marriages, through tradition. I know myself, I'm really looking forward to getting married and going through the traditional ceremonies, connecting with my culture, showcasing my culture, and really being immersed in it, And so preferably I would like to date somebody who is African. I think it would be easier if they were Ghanaian, just because there's so much family histories and understanding, cultural understanding would already be there, I would think. But you never know, because I was born in this country over here in Canada. So I think there might be some differences. Just some things I wouldn't know, and sometimes they don't know as well. So it was very interesting to watch this, because we saw the mother really complain about Akuya, and the mom's up at 6 a.m. cooking and cleaning, and she's looking at Akuya like, yo, you're lazy. I didn't want sorry. Bare 6 a.m. when the sun is cracking up. Why are you not up cooking and cleaning for my son? She's saying that it's 8. Even go back to bed. I don't even need you here because I've done it. You've come to visit their home. And look how the way she's treating her to-be daughter-in-law, And I think that's across cultures. It's not just African cultures. I think that ideology that you need to raise up the woman who's going to marry your son to be just like you is something that's carried throughout this world. And I get it, but it can also be problematic if respect isn't there, It was quite interesting to see how she was low-key abusing, not even low-key, high-key abusing Akuya, and you could kind of see the evolution of how Kwame was a little bit understanding, a little bit defensive of his soon-to-be wife to his mom, and then eventually just became, hey, go and deal with my mom. That's your problem. Leave me out of it. It's between you two. There was a lack of protection there for her. And you just start to see slowly that Kwame isn't really being who he needs to be to Akuya, right? And then there was a part about one of Kwame's friends, I guess, somehow ended up, I'm not going to say the word so it gets censored, but his friend's wife. Okay. And I stepped out for a minute. A friend of mine was actually coming to the premiere, so I actually missed that part of it. But when I came back in, I saw some of it, and the friend was giving him advice about not being with her, but then he ended up dealing with her in that way, right? I think she went to him for some advice, and he ended up doing that to her. So where it gets really interesting is when they come to meet the parents. Now, this is where we talk about things where we kind of upend cultural traditions, right? Back in the days, a man would come to a family, or families would actually already arrange marriages. So let's start there. They would arrange marriages. So everybody knows whose family, who's not, what the connection is, what the dowry will be. And that connection was made. Then there was this piece around meeting the parents, right? Before you do the meet the parents, right? And now we're all kind of just out here doing anything, right? We're meeting somebody on roads, and all of a sudden, I love you, and feelings get exchanged, and you haven't done your history. You don't even really know this person. And that's problematic, not even just because that might actually be our family, but also like genes and traits and things like that. And like sickle cell is huge in our community, and that happens when you have two of the sickle cell trait in something. You have two people with the trait get married, have kids, or don't get married, have kids, and their child has full-blown sickle cell, right? And all these things can be screened and tested. But I think because we want to be autonomous with love and feelings and relationship, we're just rushing into things. And where the cultural aspect comes in and the culture clash comes in is like the controversial aspect of it is, what if you're dating somebody who's your family? I mean, I think I knew this. Like, in reality, like my grandfather had, I believe, 7 or more wives. He's a Muslim, so he was a Muslim. So he had 7 or so wives. And they all had plenty children. I believe my grandma had 9 kids. Do I know all of my cousins? I don't. I have cousins in Ghana. I have cousins in Europe. I have cousins in the US. I have cousins in Canada. I don't know everybody. I don't know everybody, you know? And so, you know, I don't know. It's like a really sensitive, like taboo topic, but it's really quite possible for you to end up with somebody in your family. And I thought that was some like, anyway, I won't say what I was thinking, but yeah, I didn't. But the more and more I think about it, yeah, it potentially is an issue, right? So this is why you should take the time to get to know the person and really meet with the families and do all that stuff first, you know? So we have to start doing that stuff again so we avoid situations like this. So anyway, long story long, yeah, we find out that I can't even really spoil. I don't want to spoil the whole plot, but yeah, the people that are siblings. And then there's a jaw-dropping moment that I can't really get into because I really want you guys to go watch this film. But the film ends on a cliffhanger that makes you want to and have to watch part 2. And when I had spoke to the actors and actresses after the premiere, or when the film finished, I spoke to them and I asked them like how they felt. And they were kind of solemn, like, you know, it was really deep for them, you know, and like, these are things that happen in the diaspora in Ghana, you know, and I really want to talk about it with y'all. I really want to know what you guys think about that and what is to blame for those types of things and how do we avoid those things, you know? And let's talk about mother-in-laws. Like the mother-in-law was so wicked to Akuya just to find out that that was her daughter, and that Kwame's father, Akuya's father, ended up, or not Kwame's father, sorry, Akuya's father, his mother actually was wicked to her, which is why she didn't even know Akuya was her daughter, because they took her from Mama G. And it just goes to show that it's like a cycle. Like it happened to me, so I got to be wicked to the next one, and then the next one's going to be wicked to the next one. And it's just like, damn, like, you know, what happened to do unto others as you would have them do unto you? What happened to, you know, treat others with respect? So it was quite an interesting film, again, by Kwame G. He acted in it, was the main character, Kwame, and he also produced the film, you know? And so I'm thankful to my guy, Seth from Live TV, who actually was responsible for the sound of the film. So I want to ask the diaspora, when diasporans meet and marry into families back home, what conversations need to be had before marriage happens? Is it culture? Is it expectations, gender roles, money, respect, boundaries, or is it all of the above? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you seen this dynamic before, where love crosses culture, but family expectations create conflict? Let's talk about it. I want to hear from you guys. I'm hoping to get married soon, one day, once I find the person, because you already know. But anyway, well, that's a topic for another day. But what am I looking forward to? What's really gonna happen? Like, do I have to think about all of these things? How does my identity as a Canadian African Canadian, how does that intersect with me being a Ghanaian or marrying somebody from Ghana or from another African country? Are there going to be things I need to think about? Let's talk in the comments. Once again, thank you for watching. My name is Efia, aka Fifi Ohima. Make sure you follow me at Fifi the Queen 92 on Instagram. And my YouTube channel, Fifi and Company, and we'll see you back here at ADNC for another one. Peace and love. Thanks for watching.